me and my two best friends wrote this song, and I was living in a cabin out in the woods and had no running water, and I heated my house and I cooked on this little, ever seen those little cast iron cook stoves about that tall, about that wide, and you got to split a log about 4 times before you can shove it in there, and that's what I cooked on and heated my little house, and we'd sit around and write, and we made this stuff called songwriter stew. It was basically whatever we could open a can and throw into a pot. And we would sit there and come up with lines for songs. And back then, none of us had any money. You know, we were working on farms for about 4.5 an hour. And I remember sitting I had a little chair next to it. We had a couple of folding chairs, and this old lazy boy had recycled out of a dumpster somewhere. And I had a Red Ryder BB gun. And attached to this old cabin, the farmer that owned the land there was stored a bunch of feed. And when you have feed stored, you have Mickeys. And I remember we'd sit there and we'd try to think up lines, and I'd be pumping. Mickey would pop his head up there. We wrote a lot of songs that way. But I remember that I look back on it now, and I knew it, but looking back on it, I think sometimes I forget it, that I had everything I ever had, that I ever wanted. You know, I lived on this big farm. It was about 400 or 500 acres, and I didn't have any bills really to speak of. Yep, my old pickup truck, old '78 Chevrolet was paid for. But I wake up every morning and drink my coffee and just enjoy what God made. I live right there in the middle of nature. So we were way back in the sticks, and I loved it. That's where the song came from. Whippoorwills sing like angels in the night. Dewdrops shine like diamonds by the morning light. There's nothing as peaceful as an evening breeze, whispering soft and low through the cottonwood trees. So I think God must live on an old dirt road, 'cause everywhere I look I see miracles. I know the streets of heaven are paved with gold, but I think God must live on an old dirt road. I've seen neon glow light up the city sky. It don't touch my soul quite like the fireflies. An 80-story high-rise can almost reach the clouds, but it ain't as close to heaven as this sacred ground. So I think God must live on an old dirt road, 'cause everywhere I look I see a miracle. I know the streets of heaven are paved with gold, but I think God must live on an old dirt road. I know the streets of heaven are paved with gold, I think God must live. Yeah, I know God